So we are headed home from the party. The party was actually a lot of fun. We hung out, we talked, we chatted. I got a compliment actually today. Someone was like, I was like, oh, I needed help from the able-bodied young man, and Mike was there. And the lady, I don't even know her name, but it's Katie's mother. She was like, he's like the same age as you, right? And I'm like, I doubt it. I don't know. How old are you? And he's like, I'm 24. And I'm like, no, sorry, I'm much older. So she was like, oh, I'm only 12 years older than you. I'm like, yeah, 12 years isn't much. So, and that was a very sweet compliment because I look younger than what I am. Like when people meet me, some people think I'm like fresh out of high school or something. And it's like, and it's always been that way. When I was 21, when I got my license, because I got my license late, I was living out in Philly and I went through a driving school and I got my license. And actually a cop pulled me over after I got my license and was like, where's your ID? How old are you? Why are you driving? And I'm like, I'm 21 and here's my ID. He's like, where's your registration? And I'm like, I don't know which one that is. Which one is it? Because at the time I didn't know. And like I was new to driving and stuff. So I gave him all my information. He's like, just be careful on the roads. I was like, oh, thank you, I will. And it was fine and dandy, all done with. So I love it. I don't know. I like looking younger than I am. I feel much older than I am sometimes because I work so much and, like I hurt my hands and stuff. And sometimes I'm just like, oh, my poor old body, because my hands do get stiff and, I can't open things sometimes. And, because I am getting older, it's no big deal. So it's just so nice when people are like, aren't you 20? And I'm like, no. And it's just so nice. It's such a nice compliment. So I feel very complimented tonight. But we are going to be going home. I really hope that James is in a better mood. He wrote me a text and told me how sorry he was for his attitude earlier. So I hope that when I get home, he is bright and cheery and happy. Because he tends to be a damper on everyone's parade, and so it's harder for him to make friends sometimes because he's like, I just don't get along with other people. And sometimes he's like, oh, if he's like, a lot of times he's like, oh, we'll just get out, this is my house, blah, 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 blah. They're like, oh, you're on a permanent vacation, you do nothing, blah, 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 blah. But then he's like, I don't think I'd find anyone else who'd want to stay with me. So, and I'm like, well, maybe you should be nicer to me. So that would be nice if he was nicer. It'd be nice if he wanted to actually do things with me as well. But he doesn't, because everything I do is a baby activity to him. So, but we have a baby, and that's what you do when you have kids. So, anyway, I'm rambling now. But I'm just like, oh, I feel so complimented. It's like, Alright, that's it for my update. We just left the party, and the party was a lot of fun, and it got rained out, and the rain was a lot of fun, and it was just a good party. It was very warm, very welcoming, and lots of good food, lots of vegetables. So I'm happy with that. So unfortunately, not all the food got eaten. So I took some food home. Everyone took some food home. It's a good thing though. It's a good party. So alright, that's it for my update. We're just driving home. Karina's probably asleep in the back seat. And hopefully when we get home, she will take a nap. She hasn't taken a nap all day yet, and she's been up since 8:45, I think. We've been up since. So hopefully she'll get a good nap in. And I'll be able to clean the kitchen and maybe clean up the rest of the house or something. It doesn't even matter when I clean sometimes though, because I clean and then the house just gets destroyed, and then I clean and then the house just gets destroyed. And I mean, she's just a baby. So James was like, if I was watching her, I'd clean up every single toy as she messes it. It's like, but you don't understand because you don't watch her. You can't just clean up every single toy right after her because she goes through too many toys at once. And he just doesn't understand. And he's like, well, I'll babysit one of these days. It's like, okay, well, we'll see one of the days when you need to babysit, I guess. So I don't know. Karina can be a little frustrating at times, and I think I would take it very well. And I don't know how well James would take it for some of the things that Karina does. And so it makes me nervous to leave her with him by herself, because I know that she can be a little frustrating at times. And, you know, James doesn't handle things very well sometimes. Like, Karina is perfect. She's perfectly fine, just like every other baby is, as long as you are focused on her and you don't have anything that you want to do yourself. That's what it is like with kids. It's actually really hard to have little babies, because you just need to focus on everything that they want to do and not focus on anything that you want to do. You kind of have to give up yourself for those years, and that is completely fine because they are only little ones. James has this thing with TV and the telephone and his video games where he likes to have time to focus on what he wants to do, on his games, on his phone, on his TV, and he thinks that stuff is important. But he doesn't realize that that stuff could stop for 4 years, and then he could go back to focusing on that stuff. That stuff doesn't matter. That stuff is going to be there in 4 years. It's going to be there in 5 years. It's going to be there in 18 years. Our daughter is going to be that much older, 4 years older, 5 years older, 18 years older, and we're not going to get that time back. But he'll get that time back with the video games. He'll get that time back with the television set that he's so worried about hearing. You know, like, I'll get back the time to do whatever it is that I might want to do now in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years. I don't care. Because I know that nothing that I watch now, like those TV shows that he's watching, they're all recorded. He can rewind them 50 times and watch them over again. He's not going to be able to rewind our child's life and watch it over again. Well, I am doing the home movies, but like, I don't know. I think he's going to miss it one day. And, you know, she's going to be older one day and he's going to be like, oh man, you're right. Like, I think one day he's going to stop playing video games and he's going to look at his life and be like, look how much I missed. So, and then I think he's going to feel really sad. But, I mean, that's not up to me to decide. I am not him. I cannot make him stop and be like, look, this is just an addiction. You got to stop this. But, you know, like, I myself feel like I'm on the phone too much. I want to take the Wi-Fi off of my phone because I don't want to be on this telephone when I am with my daughter. But, I mean, she watches the same movies over and over again, and I am only so interested in those movies. It is very good for her development, I know that, and she loves the movies, and sometimes when she's watching her TV show, I will be on my phone, and it's just such a bad habit. I'm just like, you gotta stop this. I don't want her to see me on my phone as well as seeing James on his phone and as well as James on his computer. Like, I won't be on, like, I'm never on that computer. That computer is not on in my house when I am home all day, except for when she is down for a nap. Or if I'm putting the CDs onto, I'm trying to put all my CDs onto, they're not CDs, they're DVDs, onto the computer so this way I can have all my photos on Google Cloud. So I am trying to do that, but I kind of stopped doing that because the only time that really matters to me now, all my photos that I have, the only ones that matter to me are the ones of my daughter. So, I mean, it's just, it feels like this time in my life right now is the only time that really matters. Like, here going forward, from the time that I got pregnant with her to the time that I had her to, you know, here going forward, seems like this really does seem like the only important time in my entire life. You know, what I do right now. So all those photos that I have, they don't even seem like they matter anymore. So it's just such a difference, you know? So anyway, yeah, I really do need to, like, and I'm not even on the phone that much, but sometimes like I'll get sucked into like watching someone else's YouTube videos or something. I do. I like YouTube a lot. And I was a part of a baby board that I liked a lot that I stopped really going on all that much. I don't really go on all that much anymore at all. And when I was on it, I shouldn't have been on it. So, you know. Alright, well that's it for my update. I am driving home from a beautiful party, and there's a beautiful sunset outside. Look at that. A beautiful sunset. Alright, well that's it for my update. Thanks for watching my YouTube videos. I'm so glad I do YouTube. I'm so glad I have home videos talking about the birthing board, actually. I always do this when I say goodbye to people too. I'm like, okay, bye, see you later. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. I thought of something. But anyway, talking about the birthing board. On the birthing board, some woman posted, what if you had an expiration date that you actually knew? She had this horrifying dream, right? She had this dream that she was going to die, and she knew when she was going to die. She knew her expiration date. She only had a couple days to live. Now, I do not believe in expiration dates. My father was given 6 months to live, and the man lived 6 years, and he had full-blown AIDS. He never had HIV. He never had HIV at all because Carrie had full-blown AIDS, so when he got it, he had full-blown AIDS. He literally gave custody back to my mother because he had full custody, and he went to the court system. He's like, look, I am sick, I have full-blown AIDS, I'm going to die in 6 months, and he gave custody from him to my mother, right? And so he quit working. He was working a night job where he was a forklift driver, and he actually owned 2 houses, and so he was doing quite well for himself. And because he owned 2 houses, because before he got my mother pregnant and realized that he was going to have twins, he was living with Mary Lou. He was living with Lois. Mary Lou was his mother, who died when he was 15. So his mother died when he was 15. My father died when I was 12. I don't think I'm going to live very long. I don't know how long I'm going to live for. If I make it to my daughter's 18th birthday, I'm going to be ecstatic. If I don't make it to my daughter's 18th birthday, though, I have home videos. And I always wanted to do home movies. This is pretty awesome. And it's pretty cool to have them. But I mean, this woman went back to her expiration date. What if the doctor gave her an expiration date that this is the day that she was going to die? First off, she's not going to die on that day. She's probably going to live longer than the doctor says, because the doctor always gives you worst case scenarios. So, if she's going to die in 3 days, she might die in 3 years instead. So, and she, in her dream, went to her family members and was telling her family members, look, she was going to die. And then she woke up. And when she actually woke up, she was like, how would I tell this to my daughter? Because she's a 26-year-old woman. She does work outside the house. And, she has this little baby who's right around my daughter's age, 15, 16 months. And, she's like, I don't even know how I would explain it to my daughter. And I'd be like, I didn't even post back on the post because, what would I say to that? Look, you'd live longer than what the doctor would tell you. Look, I've been through this before. It's not going to happen like that. Even if you did have cancer and were given 3 days to live, you're not going to die in 3 days. You might have 3 months, and you might want to quit your job and start making movies and writing books to your daughter and writing everything down and doing movies. But, if I had an expiration date, because she was like, would you want to know your own expiration date? And the answer is no, because I wouldn't want to worry about my own expiration date. I'd want to not have an expiration date, do my YouTube videos, and then, because I could die before my expiration date. What if I got hit by a bus when I left the house one day? That expiration date isn't going to mean much to me. So, boop, 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 boom. Oh, it's the wrong button. That's fine. There we go. My window's getting all foggy. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd want to know my own expiration date. I'd want to just do what I'm doing because I don't work outside the house. I am spending every last minute that I have with my daughter. I try not to waste my time on television sets or, stuff like that. So, I'm trying to do my best to actually be in the moment in time. So, no, I wouldn't want to know my expiration date. And because if it was before my daughter's 18th birthday, I think I'd be devastated. So, alright, well, that's it for my update. I'm going to let this go, and I'm going to do a YouTube video probably later. I love that I have YouTube. I didn't know how to use YouTube. I actually looked up YouTube on YouTube to figure out how to use this, and I wish that I did it before I had my baby. But I love this because I would have loved to have so much more on video, going down to the midwives and doing all my laundry and all the cooking I used to do. I think I might have a different audience, a more rounded audience as well, maybe on my YouTube videos. I love my audience though, and I love that I'm doing YouTube. So thank you for watching my YouTube videos. I really love doing them because I love having home movies for my daughter in case my expiration date is tomorrow or something. Because this way she'd at least be able to have some movies and be like, oh, well, see, this is my mama, because I can't remember my father that much. So, he died when I was 12. I can imagine dying before my daughter was 12. I'd feel devastated, honestly. All right, that's it for my update.